Oh, hello, hello, hello. Let's see. I got comments that I like to respond to if possible, but oh well. No, I don't use vinegar in restoration of things. No, no, no. Okay, vinegar is acetic acid, and what it does make is ferrous acetate. No, no. My ideal thing would be the laser, turning the iron oxide back into iron. I think that's the best way. Or what I do, I haven't got a laser yet, but I use WD-40 and Vaseline actually. I do polish a little bit, and that's applicable to, let's say, vintage machine tools and old guns and cannons and stuff like that. Okay. For old radio stuff, I use WD-40. Just let it soak and wipe off any loose oxidation and that kind of thing, because a lot of that is aluminium or aluminum. So that's what I do. Make sure everything's well greased, oiled. Check capacitors and any cracked resistors and replace them, of course. And not all the time. I don't go on a cap replace because some of the caps, the old caps, are still okay. Reforming, of course, you can do that. I do that quite a bit too. Or you get a big bang if you don't take the time to reform capacitors and stuff, you know? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So, yeah, that's probably what will answer that particular question. No, I don't use any kind of acid or anything like that or chemicals. Try and get to the root of the problem and convert it back into iron. I wonder if they make a laser, the little handheld tiny laser instead of the big industrial lasers like that. Just a pinpoint. You can get in the pockets of rust and convert it back into iron. But I've been working on a stuck Orlicon cannon for years. I go at it once in a while. I try and loosen stuff up. I put oil on it, and that'll eventually get in there. But other things have to be cleaned, of course. Gearing and motors and drive shafts and all that. So yeah, as I said in the other video, on I think it was a question on radios. Yeah, I have many radios, VLF up to UHF and SHF, but they're like my secondary sense when exploring what I'm doing, or not exploring what I'm doing, but I can hear things that tell me stuff. Okay, because I'm operating high voltage transformers and DC electrostatics, magnetic fields, plus a transmission of RF, broadband and narrowband. Now, what I was doing a long time ago was sure it was purely accidental, and I thought it was just a crazy thing with RF, until people found out about it and made a big deal about it and came around, want to film it, write stuff about it, like Mel Ernest Winfield. So for me to get tuned into Hutchison effect like some fanatic, I can't because my interests come and go. I'll be on a toot. Well, I had like with warships. I love taking part in warships. I would have saved a warship. I wanted to buy one, but it was not possible, and the money was not there, and it's time situation. So I got to take apart warships, the electronics, all the electronics, and all the armaments. So I enjoyed that because I could take anything home. I didn't ask for any money. No, no, no money. I got lots of money anyway. Which I did have. I had $250,000 from a group of people that want to make me to make power cells, which I did do. That was 1994 up to 2000 time frame. Then I started even buying stuff from the project manager Wesley Roots of the Artificial Reef Society of British Columbia, Canada. Hi. So, I still got a lot of stuff here. So, restoration. I did a takedown model 94 Winchester. It was through a fire, barrel was bent, and all its carbon leached out of the steel, and I did recarbonize it as well as straighten everything out, tempered things again, put it together, made a stock for it, and I traded with Phil Gaddison, the Gaddison Machinery, on Alexander Street for it. I did some electrical stuff. Yeah, they were very kind folks. They always on the lookout for stuff, and nobody would come around to their place. It's kind of lost in time, a very unusual place on Alexander Street. Freddie and Phil, I called them, and there's Carol Gaddison. I wonder where she disappeared to. She was interested in what I was doing, and she just got going and then vanished like. If I could only have a time machine, go back and film everything, it'd be quite cool. I'm working on a time machine, by the way. So, like so, it's just one of those things that I'm working on. One of my first interests in science was chemistry, of course. My dad was quite supportive. He got all the chemicals and everything else for me. Company in Canada called Caven Company, and after that I got into electrical stuff and guns and stuff, and that's carried on up to present times with my various weird interests. But people expect you to be a scientist, the scientist. I'm not a scientist. He didn't even go to school, like I mentioned before 100 times. I just ran away from school all the time, in kindergarten up until I got tired of it and got a tutor. I was doing something kind of funny an hour ago. I better not say anything more. But anyway. Wink, wink. It's a life extender too, so don't worry about it. I see stars and flights, rockets in flight, afternoon delight. Just sort of hidden away somewhere, just doing that. Oh, John, you're so funny. Oh, John, I should be a pet of some kind of weird person. Anyway, back to reality, or wherever that is. Started off with restoration projects. So, what's the toughest thing I ever? Well, I mentioned 94 Winchester. Second part would be a RF transmitter that was broken in half. That was a hell of a job. That was from Freddie and Phil, by the way. Had to rewire everything and gently put everything back together. It's just total lunacy, by the way, love. Come on. It's total lunacy what I'm doing. You wouldn't want to do it. Each and every one of us has our own talents, so. Charles Crawford has got his talents, which are being expressed pretty good. He kind of reminds me of myself a little bit. Who else? Everybody has their talents. So anyway, going on to radios and listening to things, I do believe I catch a bounce back in time from radio. It's very brief, maybe a second or 2 seconds, and it goes away. But so a radio wave would leave here a decade or a couple of decades ago. Maybe it bounced off of something and came back. I know it was a Soviet woodpecker for about 2 seconds. Luckily, I was recording it. But I believe that's highly probable because space is so vast, it's incomprehensible, just like death is incomprehensible to people, so they make religion and that to cope with those kind of things. Or aliens, whatever that is. I don't know. Aliens would never contact us. We're too barbaric for them. They wouldn't want to make contact. Some people say it's an alien experiment. They put us here, but you go back in time to the 1800s. My God, look how they dress and what the hell are they doing? They're just walking around like really like weird humans, the old videos, turn of the century, and then pictures, Civil War pictures, other pictures, totally ridiculous things, and if you go back in time, if only there was a picture of videos, you wouldn't believe what you see. And that's a mere couple of 100 years, 300, 400 years. A cosmological scale, that's nothing. Can you imagine me walking around 200 years ago? They would, I don't know. Or the aliens would look at me now walking around and say, what the hell is that thing? It's little Johnny Cupcake, a little lunatic. Just like everybody else. So I've been watching the Big Wave Master. He's got videos, which I really love them. If he was smart, well, maybe he tried that, but it would be an excellent TV series to get to know the crew, what they go through. It's a YouTube channel. Check it out, Big Wave Master. It is so interesting and cool. It's kind of like a Star Trek in a way, but it's just a fellow on a gentleman on a Scottish guy on a rescue ship, a month at sea, and he films everything for a month. The videos are maybe an hour long, sometimes or shorter. But I really enjoy watching those videos, being into ships and storms, and they coast around the North Sea and storms and that. Getting to know everybody's really cool. So, yeah. Well, that's what I like doing sometimes at night. And I'll watch Martin Fleischman Memorial Project videos. I'll watch Paul Mueller's videos. I don't bother much with the news because I know it's scripted in a way and it's slanted. Although Ukraine has to win, according to John Alexander, if not, then a NATO country would be the next target. I didn't know that until last night. I read that article, or that posting. Yeah, I'm gonna start operating on my face. Really horrendous bags under the eyes. Look like a baboon. Hi, what are you doing now? Ooh. I'm just joking. Oh, doctor, what are you doing? Flaunting it in this godforsaken age. They think the Donald's going to the big house. Probably. That's politics. As Gordon Novell says, gangsters and banksters. He's most likely right. Anyway, I kind of miss Gordon, Ken Shoulder, Dr. Rauscher, and many others, actually. We used to talk, get together and talk forever. It's kind of getting lonely in space and time. I got my friends to talk to, but nobody, well, I could talk to some others. There's a lot of others out there, a new generation of hobbits. And I think they're awesome. Oh, good lordy. I hope to meet them sometime in real life. I did meet a hobbit. Dutchin since has a YouTube channel. He predicts earthquakes and other cosmological events. And I met him in real life 10 years ago. And he's still doing the videos almost every day. It's really amazing. It's dedicated. Dedication. I'll get around to show you what I take in vitamins and my life extension. Although exercise is extremely important. I feel I get a lot of exercise just moving stuff around and working all day long. Although more aerobic exercise is probably a lot better. My God, I used to do them until ships came along. I did 4 hours exercising, and then the ships came along. I didn't have time anymore, so I was busy with the ships. But I got a good workout walking up the hill, a mile-long hill from the river up to my place every day. Let's see, somebody a couple of years, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I used to go hiking around here quite a bit. I haven't got a hiking partner. Hey, why don't you be a hiking partner? Contact me. Contact your little kumquat, me. Go for a long hike. Wink. Never mind the winking. Okay, so on that note, I should get going. Just want to answer that comment and another comment. But to answer them, I don't like typing. I hate boring. Typing is so boring, it's painful. So I express myself with pictures. Yeah, I do. Pictures and verbal. But if necessary, I'll type. I better get the cameras turned on. Get my vitamins and make cigarettes and head for dinner. Oh, can I have a little fun? So I wonder where the hangar inspectors are. You get it, or do you not get it? A long time ago in the Drexel rooms, I mentioned this a dozen times already. Oh, you know, at nighttime, I go through these dream sequences, and I'm hard as a rock, whatever that means. I get up a couple of times in the night, go wee wee. I go wee wee. Have a cigarette, go back to bed, go through another dream sequence of, and resulting is hardness again. Other times it's something else, which is intriguing. I don't know how many of you are into dreams, but I'm sure you dream. But I'm seeing people I never seen before, clear as a bell, in color, technicolor, as real, as solid as you could ever name it. Really solid. Sometimes the dreams are so intense and powerful, it affects my day, and have to recalibrate my mind by going taking a nap and go through another type of dream sequence and readjust my brain chemistry again. All the way to heaven. Somebody, a girlfriend of mine said that. Donna Gumple, Texan gal, stayed with me for a month. 2006, I think. Oh well. Brag, brag, brag. Mr. Hutchison, you are bragging, you silly nut. The great yawner. I'll be greeted by Mr. EVO, the little doggy, the little miniature Australian shepherd who licks my face, nibbles on me, and likes to play games all the time. What a character. So we went out today to the place where we pick up heavy packages. Mine is 120 pounds. It's a radio receiver, which I showed in my other video, a radio receiver. RABA. RBA. Oh, yeah, again, sorry. Ooh. I guess I should get going, Boring. Getting too boring for you folks out there, whoever you are. Spread those chops, baby. John, you're getting to be a foul-mouthed little man. I don't know. I wonder what you do if you're doing one of these videos, you fall asleep. A couple hours to wake up. Should I still upload it? Ooh! Upload the video. Oh, maybe it's funny as hell. Oh dear. Sliding off the chair. Spock. Oh, he's Spock. Spocky! Alright, I should get going. Whatcha woo? From Star Trek, Dr. McCoy. Their little baby. And Spocky says, witchy roo, doctor. Something like that. Anyway, talking nonsense now. Baboon eyes. I'm gonna work on these things to get those fat deposits out with a hypodermic, I think. Just get in there and get rid of that shit. I do that with the occasional abscessed tooth. I go in there with a hypodermic and pull it all out and make sure it's clean with lots of alcohol and iodine, and so far so good. So you gotta learn to be a doctor yourself, self-doctor. Be thy own physician, which I'm trying to do. If I don't kill myself yet, it's obvious in my videos. You know, YouTube or YouTube and Google. Try and look for anything alternative. Oh, check with the healthcare provider or your doctor. Talk to your doctor. Blah 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 blah. You know all this crap. Take it away the human's self-diligence, so to speak. Leaving mental vegetables walking around. What is it, Kensington, Pennsylvania? The poor folks are on drugs and they're walking around like zombies. Same in Vancouver. The homeless people. It's pretty sad and pretty sick. If I was a multi-billionaire, I would help those people. I would get some houses, a good diet, a rehabilitation program, some kind. After all, if I was a billionaire, would be very depressed. No, I would be. I always found that money makes me slightly want to get rid of it, and that's what I do. I buy a lot of stuff on eBay and Gunbroker and other places. But anyway, that's just me, so. It's all in. Oh, it's all something. I gotta get going there. I thought we talked about that. Other things. Parting shot. The sunbather. Right. Stand straight up, chest out, tits out. I keep on marching. I try. Cheerio.